Greetings, beloved light warriors. It's Saratoga, and this is our weekly focus card reading for the week beginning August 16th through August 22nd, 2021. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And you should know that I do this every Sunday so that we can reset our focus and our energy for the coming week ahead. And then I do my on-camera videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, let us get into this week's reading. This is a very beautiful card. Let's just take a look at the words on the card first. It says, your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So there's a lot happening in this card and with this message. Let's start by looking at the image. So what we see is we see a woman standing on what looks like the top of a mountain. I think the darker colors in the card, the sort of green colors, which match the color of the image of the woman, that represents the earth. That represents an incarnation on planet Earth. So that would be representative of our incarnation here. Now you can see that she is standing at the highest peak, which really signifies that we need to live on this planet. Even though we're on this planet, we need to function from the highest possible place of what I will call integrity to who we really are. Now the other thing that's interesting is you can see the almost like geometric types of shapes. They're really abstract, different shapes and beautiful lighter colors all around her and above her. And I really sense that this could represent the laws and principles of the universe. If you guys hear rumbling in the background, we're in the middle of a big thunderstorm right now, so you might hear some of that. I will try not to be too distracted by it. But anyway, so I think those all of those colors represent her drawing upon the laws and principles of the universe. And if you look at the very bottom of those kind of pastel colors, you can see what almost looks like the shape of roses. Now, roses to me signify love. In terms of the flower kingdom, I think roses emanate the highest vibration of love, probably in the entire kingdom of flowers. So that would mean that she is drawing upon those laws and principles of creation, those higher principles in the universe, to manifest creations of love on this planetary Earth in her current incarnation. So that's sort of the gist of the overall image on the card. So now let's take a look at the words, because the words are really quite amazing, actually. So the first line is, your life is a canvas, and that's kind of self-explanatory, right? You're an artist. Each one of us as a human being exists as a creator. We are cosmic artists of life. So we want to think of life as being our canvas upon which we can create. Now, it's not a flat canvas. It's actually obviously three-dimensional, multi-dimensional canvas that is just full of beauty and color and light. So instead of, I think this really indicates a shift that we can make. So instead of thinking that seeing life as something that's happening to us and, you know, all these circumstances going on around us is happening to us and making us feel a certain way and shaping our experience and shaping our reality, that's actually the reverse of how we're actually meant to function, how we're actually designed to function. And this is one of the issues you want to be mindful of in the world today as we know it, is that we are constantly being bombarded with messages that are telling us to succumb to being shaped by all of these crazy events going on around us. Like, you need to be shaped by these events. You need to have your life controlled and shaped by these events. So what that's doing is that's suppressing us as creators. But the thing is, we do not have to be suppressed by creators. I'm sorry, by creators. We don't have to be suppressed as creators. Because each one of us, we have our own individual space called life, called our life. That's the canvas that we're working with. So the canvas that we're working with, it's actually very interesting because as I'm looking at this image and I'm seeing these sort of multidimensional shapes that she might be drawing upon, it really brings to mind that our canvas is not only our outer world, it's also our inner world too. So you want to think of the canvas as being interdimensional, the outer dimension of reality and the inner dimension of our inner selves. And it all links together. So that's a beautiful way to look at this, because when you recognize that your canvas also exists within you, and that has to do with, what are your thoughts? What are your beliefs? What are your patterns and your habits? What is it that you are aligned with within yourself? Is your energy at a high vibration, or is it a low vibration? Or is it somewhere in between? Because all of those things factor in to what you are able to create in your outer world. Now, the second word underneath the main heading on this card is manifestation. So I think the message is we really want to start focusing on manifestation, because as you can see, all the stuff going on, the craziness in the world is trying to crush us, basically, right? We do not want to let that happen. We cannot afford to let that happen. If we position ourselves as artists and creators upon our canvas called life, we will then be able to focus on manifestation. So what is it that you want to manifest? That's what you want to be thinking about, because when you are exercising your manifestation capabilities, you are empowered, you are energized, you are light, you are source energy operating on this planet. And that is the best way not to let all this junk crush you. Okay, so, okay, now we're having a huge downpour of rain. If you can hear that, that's just a whole lot of pouring rain. All right, so let's move on to the final phrase here, which is creative accountability. This is such a fascinating couple of words. Because to me, when I saw this creative accountability, the first thing that I thought of was, this is really about the purpose for which we came here. Because when you say creative accountability, you have to ask yourself, well, accountable to who? What does that mean, right? There's something that lives inside each and every one of us that is purposeful, that is in touch with the truth of who we really are. And that something, that, man, that rain is loud. I hope I can get through this without feeling too distracted by it. That's something that lives within us, knows what we're actually capable of. The reason it knows is because that something is connected to the power from which we came, to that source energy from which we incarnated here on this earth. So accountability actually means, I think in this message, means accountability not only to ourselves, but accountability to our higher purpose, accountability to living as the creators that we really are. Because you know what happens when we don't live as that creator that we know we are, somewhere underneath all the stuff we've been programmed to believe? Here's what happens when we don't make ourselves accountable to that higher purpose, to that true self, to who we really are. You know what you end up feeling? Regret. You're left with regret, because that regret can kind of wear you down, and make you feel less capable, less able, less empowered. For example, if you have turned your back on yourself for years and years and years, if you've turned your back on what you know your capabilities are, if you've turned your back on what you feel is your real purpose on this planet, or anything along those lines, it could be anything at all. It could just be turning your back on your heart's desire. Okay, if you've done that, if you've been in denial of that, and you've been in denial of yourself, you're going to be living with this underlying feeling of regret, which can actually cause sort of an ongoing sense of stress and feeling of pressure and feeling like, oh, I know I need to be doing something, or maybe you don't even know what it is. Maybe it's so buried you don't even know what it is, but maybe you do know what it is. Whatever the case, Certainly, there's something within you that is in touch with your heart's true desire, that is in touch with your purpose, that is in touch with your very special gifts that you came to this planet with. So we want to factor that in, because see, if we're just going to look at it like, well, I'm just going to be a creator because that's what I'm supposed to be, that's just too superficial. Where it becomes meaningful, where it has depth, where it has power and energy and impact in your life, is when you go deep inside of yourself and say, am I being accountable to myself as a creator? Am I making the effort to manifest the life that I truly desire? Am I making the effort to even follow my heart or try to implement my heart's desire? Am I living my life's purpose? Let's say you know what that is. Am I living to my fullest capacity on this planet? There's so many very productive questions you can ask yourself, which will actually lead you into a much deeper experience of who you really are. So overall, I think the message from this, and this is interesting too, because I also want to mention that we do have a full moon in Aquarius on Sunday, August 22nd. So if that is something you want to consider in your week, I would definitely suggest that you consider that energy as well. Full moons are always wonderful for clearing. They're wonderful clearing out so that you can begin anew. So when we talk about your life as a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability, we're talking about a powerful creative energy to get to wake up to the fact that this amazing creative energy is available to each one of us at all times. And this could be a very good week to tune into that, to focus on that, to tap into that. Because, you know, the stuff that's going on in the world is so insane right now. And if we do not exercise our creative energies, if we do not make the effort to manifest, to live as artists of our own lives, then we're just dealing with a situation around us that just basically wants to crush us, right? We don't want to have that. So we don't have to have that. We do not have to be crushed. The only way to avoid that under the current circumstances, depending on where you are in the world, is to spend some time with yourself, feel and discover within you your capacity to create and manifest. Just like the image on this card where you can see that she is bringing forth, or tapping into those universal laws of creation, the law of attraction, the laws of manifestation, all of that to bring forth a loving manifestation into her earthly incarnation, into her earthly life. So I'll leave you with this thought. The best thing to do is to think about creating with love. No matter what it is you're trying to create, even if you're just trying to create a wonderful day for yourself, or a wonderful space for yourself, or perhaps you have some hobby you just want to create, whatever it is, create it with love. So what you can do is, before you begin any sort of action in this particular way, pause for a moment and say, am I bringing love into this creation? Am I bringing love from within myself into what it is I'm going to create? Because what we need more than anything else right now is love. That is the highest imperative that we can each bring into our lives. And here's the beauty about love, everybody. Love is not something you have to get from the outside. You do not have to look outside of yourself for true love. True love is sourced within you. There is an endless supply. It is infinite. It's from within your heart. It has nothing to do with your personality. It has nothing to do with your ego. It has nothing to do with any of that three-dimensional stuff. It has only to do with the truth of that which sources you and who you really are. So look for that love within. Tap into that love within. If you ever have difficulty finding a connection to that love that comes from within you, start with gratitude. Start with appreciation. Appreciation is so powerful. It could actually get your creative energy flowing. Because the more that you appreciate what you have now, the more energy of love you're putting into it, the more you're allowing love to flow through you and out into the world that is yours. And that's going to actually unlock a lot of creative energy and help you to create even more that you can love, whether that's small or big or something in between. Okay, so I think that's it for this message. I certainly hope that this has inspired you. I hope this has helped you know how to feel, pardon me, how to feel empowered and strong and capable and beautiful, and feel the experience of being the creative, manifesting energy that emerges from the truth of who you really are. Okay, so with that, I'm wishing you all a wonderful week ahead. Stay peaceful, stay happy. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to the world around you. And I look very much forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Much love. Namaste.